So it's not terribly loud, so okay. It's good.
Okay, so what's supposed to happen here?
Alright, so it is basically a offshoot of the whole idea of like BB-8. So like it's like a side shooter instead of being like a top-down. I don't know why I chose to do it. I thought it'd be kind of fun. I kind of reminisce of like old Flash games. I grew up playing those things, like cool map games, that kind of stuff. I didn't really have an idea of what I wanted to start out as. Because initially I was like, oh, should I make like a knockoff of Angry Birds with Irby? But then I tried figuring out the physics and all that kind of stuff, and I stopped like immediately. I kind of just came from testing around and I'm going, oh, this is kind of fun. What if I did this? What if I did this? And then kind of culminated in, for example, like I have like multiple enemy classes, so it's not just one enemy type. Like for example, I have two. One of the things I did try and add was like different weapons, so you're not just shooting one bullet, but you're shooting multiple. As it stands right now, the code in theory should work, but it does not. It doesn't cause any problems, so I'm not going to bother to fix it. For example, I'll start it. And so you are Irby, you are on the field, and
you're fighting for your life.
Yes. This is the 2026 football season after all our seniors left. So, and when the second enemy types, you have the Irby, and you shoot like 3 bullets, and it's hard. And because of that difficulty, what I did is I made a feature so that your bullets would collide with enemy bullets, and you'll have like some form of defense. That's like the only way to have like a somewhat high score, because the main aim of the game is to have a high score. One of the features I did want to look into adding is adding something like a parry feature. So like some games, like if you attack at the same time, to like reflect an attack. The idea would be if you were like to shoot a bullet at the same time it hits you or something like that, the bullet would fire back out, so you are fine and it would hit the enemy. But again, it kind of ran out of time for that. So higher scores, and I'm not going to try and get there, but higher scores, it gets pretty intense.
Okay.
Alex, you want to play it? Yeah.
Nice.
Got Mr. God game over here, bro.
Got background music and everything.
Yeah.
So it's arrows and you set people started.
Whoa! That did not last very long.
Vegan style.
Go on. Yeah, that's the basic gist of it.
There we go. Whoa!
Yeah.
A lot of fireballs came right there.
And it's also infinitely looping, so at a point where like there's only like 10 enemies left, it will basically spawn 100 more of each kind, and it'll do that indefinitely. Wow. So I think my highest score was like 900 something, and I don't think I'm ever going to get near that again, but
wow.
It was a fun thing to just like have as like a background thing if I get bored in the class to work on.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, nice job.